When I first heard that the Supergirl movie was getting a lot of hate, it made me get a little worried because I was like, boy, it must be bad then. And when I saw the runtime for this film, it's like an hour and a half, I thought, man, it's gonna be rushed. I just walked out of the theater today, and maybe I might have to be institutionalized. I think that the Supergirl movie was good. And I will say it again, I think it was fine. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not an amazing, innovative film like the first Superman film was. And I want to make it very clear. I think people who compare it with the Superman movie, that's like very unfair. Superman is a character that is loved by everyone and known by everyone. You don't need to be a DC fan to know him. Everyone knows that there's Superman. Every superhero fandom, like if I went to a different multiverse out there somewhere in the vast, if there even is one, and I told people, oh, y'all know Superman, they probably would know, and superheroes probably wouldn't even be an iota discussion in that realm. Basically, I think it's completely unfair to compare a notable character like Supergirl but isn't like as known to Superman. Literally, he is probably like the apex of all superheroes. That's a lot of glazing that I just did just now, but that's just the facts. He is him. So to compare him with Supergirl, that's just so stupid. And they're completely two different characters, and they make that very clear with this movie. So I will defend the Supergirl movie for it being good. Now, if you think people are saying that it's bad because it's not like groundbreaking or anything, then yes, I can get behind that. But that doesn't mean a simple story can't be good, because the plot is very simple, and the trailers have promised that it was going to be a pretty simple story. At least from what I saw, they make it very clear that it's just going to be about Supergirl, trying to save Crypto. Like that's like instantly like the first thing they kick off the trailer with. You got 3 days to save Crypto, because here in this film we see that Crypto gets shot by the villain here, Krem. And it's like paralyzes him, and it's like, slowly killing him. And he's got 3 days until they get the antidote, which he has, and he conveniently wears it around his neck. But we see that he has it. Supergirl has to go and find him. While there's Supergirl, we have another character here named Ruthie. I almost forgot her name. Her parents got killed recently by Krem because he did it for the love of the game. I will say this, the villain isn't that interesting. He is just a simple, just evil like villain for the love of the game. Bro is just evil just like that. But I'll talk about him in a minute. But it's a very simple plot. They both got to get revenge for what he did to, almost killing Crypto's dog and, killing Ruthie's family. And how they get there, I think visually it looks amazing. There are moments where, it didn't bother me, but I guess there are some scenes where the CGI does look a bit wonky, but it's not like as jarring as Flashpoint. That I will tell you that. Overall, I think the movie wasn't boring. Like, I think the pacing was surprisingly good, but if you're expecting that this was going to be like a main quest of Supergirl and how it progresses for like future plots, no. Like, I think how they get to the end, that does establish where her future is, but that's for a spoiler talk that I'll save here in a bit. But let me just talk about some of the good things about this film. I think they made it very clear that Supergirl is not like a female version of Superman, even though people on Reddit have been saying otherwise. But why the heck would you listen to people, what they got to say on Reddit? They probably didn't even watch the movie. They make it very clear that Supergirl, while Superman has seen the good in people, Supergirl doesn't. She sees the truth in people. She sees the reality, because the two of them have been raised very differently. Superman left Krypton in the whole destruction part and was raised by the Kent family, who are humans. Kara, I almost butchered her name. Kara has witnessed the destruction of Krypton, and she has lived a life there. And then when she left after it was destroyed, she was completely traumatized, and she lives this whole sad girl, drunk girl vibe. And that is like, that she's just like screwing around, just wasting herself out because she is depressed. And I also think it kind of, there's a moment where it does slightly betray her character at the end, which I'll get into in a bit. But I like that they've kept her very distinct. She's not like Superman at all. She is a completely different character. And I want to make it very clear, maybe that's the bad part, because people are complaining that Supergirl isn't like a hopeful character like Superman, like someone who doesn't represent hope, because yes, they wear the same costume, like, but they also do mention why she has the same costume. I don't know if that's like canon to like the overall like, general lore of Supergirl or whatever, but again, that's to let you know, I am not someone who has read the DC comics. I just got my copy of Supergirl. I don't know where it is. I think I put it in the shelf already. I do not read comics of DC or Marvel. I am just simply a guy who likes superhero movies. When I say I'm a Marvel fan, really, I'm an MCU fan. When I say I'm a DC fan, really, I'm a fan of the Zack Snyder universe. And when that got destroyed, I was like, well, time to invest in the James Gunn DCU. So maybe the bad part about this film was maybe it doesn't follow the comic counterpart of it. But and to me, that doesn't bother me, because if it's not comic accurate, why the heck would it bother me? Because I never grew up with the comics. I never read it. But I think just the movie itself, I think it's good. Now, let's talk about spoilers. I think the villain was not good. I will say he is quite menacing at the beginning. We see him brutally kill her family. Well, not brutally, just straight up just throwing an axe at them. And like later he kills some of like the hostages that Supergirl fails to save. But as the film progresses, he gets goofier. Like he gets all like he's not like comically goofy, or maybe he kind of is. He's kind of like, so his motive and like his people is that they need to kidnap girls to breed. And that already sounds menacingly enough, but he's just kind of like, there's this one girl who tried to, escape from him. He was all like, yoo-hoo, where are you? I'm gonna find you. Like, it's like that. Okay, it's not like as goofy as how I did it, but he does kind of get into that, like, not serious mode. Like, I feel like they could have done a better job with making him more menacingly, but other than just the killing, he's not that interesting. I actually had to search up on Google what his name was before reviewing it, because he is not like a compelling villain. He is just an average like villain you would expect from the side quest Supergirl has. I also think that the action, and maybe I'm tripping on this part, but I think the action here is fine. There is a sequence where you actually don't really see much of it. You kind of see it in like the blurry like peripheral side. So if you've seen like the last Mission Impossible movie where they didn't show any of the action, they show like the person who's watching it, like they only show their reaction, like ooh ah, like they do that. So Supergirl like takes Ruthie to a bar when she's trying to find information on the creme, but all the guys are about to like kill her for slapping a dude because that pissed them off. And she tells her to wait in the corner, and we just get the camera focused on her, and then she does all the action. Like they don't really show any of it, really. Like you just kind of see Ruthie, she's like, oh my gosh, it's like that. I think that's kind of a miss there. I also think when they do show the action, the angles are a bit too shaky, and that has happened a lot in like traditional action films. But I thought for a Supergirl movie, I thought they would make it more clear, because the Superman movie, I know I said I'm not gonna compare Superman and Supergirl, that's like unfair, but the action in that film, like you could clearly see it and it's visually amazing. But here in Supergirl, it's still good, but it's not amazing. It's just kind of like, oh okay, that's fine. Like it's just okay. I think towards the end it gets good, but then it gets, and this is the thing, there is one moment at the end of the film where gets completely ruined. I think it gets completely ruined. I think that's the weakest part of the film. So, as Supergirl saves the brides, like the kidnapped girls, from Krem's ship, and Krem and his people are, circling around Ruthie. They're about to kill her. Supergirl, like, saves the brides. And it's like this big emotional moment because she was like suffering from like kryptonite poisoning that, Kren shoot her with the arrows with. Like she heals from that, and then when you think we're about to get this epic action sequence, it goes completely slow motion, and they put a song that is not Like, it ruins the immersion. It's like this, like, it's like, I don't know what the song was. If you have seen X-Men, that one Quicksilver scene, if I could save time in a bottle, it's literally like that. It ruined the immersion. Whereas like the X-Men movie, they made it like they purposely made it funny. Here they did it, but it was supposed to be like an emotional moment. Like, this is the big moment where a car is about to do some action, and she does, but it's all in slow motion, and it gets ruined with the score that they put in. Like, I never really had a problem with James Gunn's like song choices. Like, I've always thought he was pretty spot on with the vibe and aesthetic that he wants to give out. Or, excuse me, I don't think he actually had much responsibility for this film. I think he only produced it. I don't think he directed it. But there's still like oldie songs being used. I think the song choice here was a complete miss. And the scene gets yuckier than that because these girls are very helpless. They're clearly like, they're just a bunch of like regular girls that just got kidnapped, you know, for them to just, you know, breed. After like Kara like saves like, you know, Ruthie, she's about to get, you know, Ruthie is about to get, you know, attacked from behind by one of Kren's goons here, and he gets blasted, but it wasn't Supergirl, it was a tank manned by the brides. They somehow got to the tank, even though like it's this like complete like desert storm where Supergirl's like making, because she's like, you know, slapping dudes left and right here. It's a mess. How did the girls get to the tank and were able to know how to like use it and have good aim to shoot like conveniently the guy right behind Ruthie without getting her hurt? How did that, like, and I think that was like the girl power moment that a lot of people were like worried about. People were worried that this film was going to be all like girl power, like, oh yeah, feminism. And I don't think it pushes that agenda until that scene. And I want to make it very clear, because I feel like people are going to say, Andrew, what's wrong with you? You don't like female superhero movies? No, I'm not saying that female superhero movies are bad. I'm not saying that they have to be weak in order to make a compelling story. It's just, in the past, and this is probably like my conclusion for the review, this is a side rant that I want to do. I think more notably, like a show like She-Hulk has shown that female superheroes, or like mainly like a female protagonist, is that they are like unstoppable and there's nothing wrong with them, and like they don't really give like the female characters any vulnerability. It's just kind of like, I'm tough and that's all you need to know about me. Okay, so then why should we care about you? Like, why should we emotionally invest in you when you don't really give a rip yourself? Like, what is there compelling about you? So, I think people have been worried that the Supergirl movie was going to make her, like, all girl powery. But I think 50% of the film, she gets her ass beat. So, she's not as strong. And it's not, like, for a dumb reason or, like, lazy writing. They made it very clear it's the red sun that makes her weak. And when they explore different locations, they even not only name the location, they name the type of sun it will have. So this one we go to will have the yellow sun, or this one has the red sun, or this one has the green sun, which Kryptonite has, which there's Kryptonite, so we can serve. But there's also a yellow sun, which foreshadows that it's okay, because as she's getting poisoned by the Kryptonite sun, the yellow sun will eventually come and rise and then give her powers back. So I don't think they make her like completely unstoppable. Like, they do give you a good backstory of her and why we care, because she has grown up isolated in this like part of Krypton where it had like a force field after the whole planet blew up. But then there was like kryptonite poisoning in the soil that region that was like stripped out of, just like kind of floating in orbit out of nothing. And then it's like slowly killing all the people around her. It makes her very depressed, and it makes sense why she gets so drunk and sad. Why is that bad writing? Like, why does that make the movie bad? Like, it makes sense what she has went through. Oh yeah, and before I forget, because I almost forgot about this. So I told you that Supergirl, like her story and whatnot, like her ideology or whatever, like it's interesting. Like, she is very different from Superman. Like, they show that here, but throughout the film, Ruthie has been trying to get revenge by killing Krem, right? And Supergirl is telling her, no, that's wrong. It doesn't, make you feel better. The pain is still there. In fact, you will live with a new type of pain that you do not want to have. It's too much. And I thought, because they show you Supergirl's backstory on Krypton, but it's not like they give you an experience where she has went through something similar and how she has learned that revenge isn't the answer. I thought they were going to give that, but they don't. So eventually, she regurgitates that again to Ruthie when she's about to kill Krem, and Ruthie doesn't, so she walks away. And then Supergirl goes over to him, and I thought maybe she was gonna lock him up or do whatever, but she kills him and says that's for almost killing Krypto and killing Ruthie's family. So it's a bit hypocritical that she did all that. Like, she was saying it's not gonna make you feel better, but then she gets the revenge. And I thought this movie is supposed to have her grow out of her depression and not be sulking in pity and actually find go back to Earth and accept that can be her home, and she doesn't have to be alone and isolated wasting her life away anymore. She has a place to call home. So, and now I thought that was another thing where she does try and do the right thing even though it's difficult or whatever. I just thought that choice of having her kill him at the end, I would have no problem if she wasn't so gung-ho about, it won't take your pain away, getting revenge. But here she does. So, it just got a little confused. But, I don't know, that's not, the crazy part of the film, but that's just something that got me, scratching my head for a bit. I don't get it. There's just so much hate on the Supergirl movie that none of it doesn't really make sense. I think people complaining that this isn't innovative, yeah, I could get behind that, but why the heck should it be amazing, crazy film? Because we are only 2 movies into the DCU. Why would you want something super, super amazing? How are you gonna go up from there? You know what I mean? Unless if you're someone who wants it all in the same caliber, don't you want a slow build up? I think the movie should still be good and entertaining, and it is. It's not crazy amazing, but is it a bad thing? I don't think it's mediocre. I think the movie was good. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm missing something. And people saying that the writing was weak and whatever. Yes, there are moments where the dialogue is a bit corny, but I thought the movie was fine. But I don't want to yap too much. Point is, this movie got too much hate for it, and I just don't think it's I don't think it's fair. I think the movie was good, and maybe the reason why people are hating the Supergirl movie so much is because I think it's probably maybe because of the superhero fatigue that people have nowadays, and that they want really good films like the golden age of superhero movies we have had in the past, but people aren't really getting that now, maybe, I guess. Or I don't know, there's a lot of people that are hating on the DCU already. We're only 2 films in, guys. Come on. And 2 shows in. Let them cook. I don't think this movie was bad. It was fine. That's all I gotta say. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.